Hi guys, JP from FSiPanel. On this video, I will show you how easily and how quickly you can fly approaches using the FlightSim Studio 727 and FSiPanel 2020 Standard Edition. I'm sitting down right now in Geneva on the beautiful new scenery that has just been released today. That's from Jetstream's Designs, and I just started to look at it, and I will make another video about it because that was my home base. And I'm very impressed by the scenery. So I will make a special video flying approaches there very soon. So for now, we are going to concentrate on approaches using the 727 and FSiPanel 2020 Standard Edition. So before I forget, please subscribe to the channel and let's jump into the cockpit and see what you have to do. We will start from the beginning, from the MSFS menu, and you will see all the steps required to be airborne on your 727 using FSiPanel. All right, so the first thing to do is to select, of course, the 727 with the nice livery that you would like to fly, and then select your departure airport where you want to train, and then click on fly. Then the simulator will get ready, and you will see how fast or quickly you can be in the air flying your 727. All right, here we are in Geneva, and I'm clicking ready to fly. I just have the latest version now updated of the 727. And as you can see, I have the default cockpit here loaded. Nothing is set, just default cockpit. What you can do now is set the training weight as you like for your flight. So you might decide to have an heavy aircraft or a light aircraft for your training weight, for your training, sorry. So this is where you can now set your weight. So going to pre-flight, and now we have here the possibility to change the fuel on board and to as well check your weight and change anything you want. So this is something you can do. Then one thing you want to do as well, it's not mandatory, but it's nice to do, is to compute your V-speed and set the speed right there for the arrival, as we are going to do approaches. So right now we have a reference. Our speed should be at 138. If we fly flaps 30, so this is what we are intended to fly. So for the demonstration today, what I will do, I will fly vectors for the ILS runway 22 in Geneva, and then we are going to fly a short final. So you can see how easily you can do that. So the aircraft is just loaded, engines are running. As always, make sure your engines are running, and now you can start FSiPanel. Okay, FSiPanel has started. You can see that Geneva has been detected and runway 04, that's the runway we are sitting on right now. So we said we would like to fly on runway 22, so I can click on runway, and then I have my META right there. So I'm going to have 5 knots of tailwind. That's not too bad. So I'm going to select runway 22. And for the first demonstration, we are just going to go on the left-hand vectors. With flaps 30 for landing, so we expect the aircraft to be on 8 nautical miles final, and the altitude should be at 3,700 feet. When I click on move aircraft, then a lot of things will happen, so it's very important that you do not touch anything on the 727 unless FSiPanel asks you to do so. So let me show you that. Move aircraft, let's go back in the sim. So the first thing you will see here, flaps are going to flaps 5 for the vectors. Then we will have the altitude set to 3,700 feet, and then the aircraft will go in the air. As the aircraft doesn't have any auto thrust, make sure you had some thrust to maintain a speed around 160, 170 knots here as we are on vectors. And then FSiPanel is taking care of setting the cockpit for you. So you can see that the altitude now is coming close to 3,700 feet. So FSiPanel will wait until the altitude is at 3,700 feet to give you the control. You can check the altitude target right there. So right now we are reaching 3,700 feet. So your job right now is just to maintain a correct speed with your thrust. I'm a bit fast here, so I'm reducing my speed, my thrust, and we are slowing down. Approaching 3,700 feet, then the aircraft will level off, as you can see now. And you need to be stable on the vertical speed at 3,700 feet. Something I forgot to mention, make sure you have the parking brake off. Otherwise, you will get the control right away. Here I was very lucky. I just removed my parking brake on time. So you can see now aircraft ready. Hold your brake for 3 seconds to take control and the aircraft is ready. So if we have a look now into our setting, we can see that we have the landing lights on. We still have the runway and taxi lights off as the landing gear is still up and we are on vectors. We have the strobe light, navigation light. We have the auto brake, which is on minimum. Everything has been set. The nav setting is done for you, so basically you're ready to fly. So the only thing you have to do right now, hold your brake for 3 seconds. 1, 2, and 3. And you can arm the approach. And basically, that's it. Now the aircraft will intercept the ILS. We can see the runway right there. And you will be able to fly your first approach within a couple of seconds. So that's the way to set up an approach with vectors. Now you can just fly the approach, you will get a landing report, and then repeat the exercise to get very proficient on this beautiful aircraft. Don't forget here, once you get established, to go on approach mode, so your flight director will show the correct indication. Right now we are on heading as we are flying the intercept, and once we get into the localizer, once you see localizer captured, then switch your mode selector to approach. So we should get established very soon now. We should see the localizer coming in. And then the aircraft should intercept the localizer. Let's see that happening now. And then we will switch the flight director to approach mode. There we go. Approach. And now my flight director is showing me the right information. All right, so let's bring the aircraft on ground and I show you now how to start directly on short final. All right, we are back in Geneva, ready to fly. My aircraft is again on runway 04 in Geneva. Nothing set, as you can see, we don't have the right setting, nothing is done. Just the default cockpit, I just make sure that I have my engines running again and I'm just going to set my approach speed as we are going on final. So I will keep the weight as it is and I will just go to landing. I'm doing a flaps 30. Set speed, so my approach speed should be around 140 knots. Done. Now we are ready to program our approach. So let's bring FSiPanel and select a short final. Here we go. So we are runway 22 as we flew before runway 22. So this time I will select runway 04 and we will go on a short final. So short final, we should be at 2,400 feet only, which is around 1,000 feet AGL. And we should be at 4 nautical miles final. This is basically just to practice landings and landings one after the other. Move aircraft. Let's go in the sim and see what happened. The first thing you should see is the flaps moving to 30. So that will take a little while until the flaps are at the correct approach position. Then the altitude window will be set to 2,400. And do not forget to release your parking brake. Now once the flaps are 30, we will go in the air. And now you let FSiPanel do the job. Do not touch anything. Just apply some thrust. As you can see, my speed is dropping. So I just need here to manage the speed. And the rest is now done by FSiPanel. We are going down to 2,400 feet. You can see that we have already the nav setting done. And we might get below glide slope warning when we fly very short final. This happens sometimes because FSiPanel position the aircraft slightly lower than the actual 3 degrees to let you have a straight level flight before you intercept your glide slope. Should you want to fly raw data, this is a nice way to start flying. So basically we are reaching now 2,400 feet. I make sure that my speed doesn't drop and I will get the control as soon as everything is stable. So what is important there, just maintain a correct thrust. What you want to see is vertical speed close to 0, 2,400 feet, and then FSiPanel will give you the control. As you can see now, we are pretty good. So if I look now on the top left of the screen, I get the message, aircraft ready, hold your brake for 3 seconds to take control. I'm on short final, so I'm going to go already on approach. And then I will take control and arm the approach. So let's take control by holding the brake. 1, 2, 3 seconds. I have control. Approach mode, and we can see localizer captured and glide slope, as you can see, is alive now. So we should get glide slope captured very soon. So you're looking at the glide slope coming right now. And glide slope captured. Here we go. Going down for a landing. So that's how easy you can fly approaches using FSiPanel 2020 Standard Edition and the beautiful FlightSim Studio Boeing 727. I hope you like the video, guys. If you have any question or comment, please drop it in the section down below. I'll be very pleased to answer your question. And please join the channel, subscribe, and I see you very soon for another training video. Bye-bye.